ClarkWoods.com. This is Horribly Off Topic, episode number... That's something I should have written down.
Let me look.
Episode number
13, maybe?
13?
That's
maybe?
a guess.
That
Hold on,
seems-
let me look
that
at my
seems like it
podcast app.
Might be right. Seems like it. 211.
Oh, so 210 was the last one?
Yeah, 210. Legalize wheelies on September 17th.
Oh, shit.
Should we start over?
No. we can have this be high in the runnings for Brian's rankings of worst opening ever.
Well, all right. Well, in that case, I should introduce myself. I should say that I'm Steve.
No.
Oh no, I'm Chris.
Yes, you're Chris. I'm Steve. This is Horribly Off Topic.
Episode number 210. I mean
11. You fuck.
We're turning it up to 11 for the folks.
Turning it up to 211.
211.
Well, these ones go to 211. That's my Spinal Tap accent.
Are you tapping on something? Oh, okay, yeah. I could hear that. No,
Okay, well, I won't tap
well,
anymore.
no, you can do it. I just heard it, and I didn't. Yeah. So it's been a month and a half since last we did try to record an episode, and that's where that little hot hiatus thing came from.
Yeah, because we had, what the fuck was that?
That was me putting my foot
In your mouth. I
in
get
my
it.
mouth. No, my sneaker went across the bottom of the chair.
Okay, well, don't do that again.
I will try not to.
And I'll try not to tap.
All right.
Yeah, it was like a short while after the bachelor party where we last recorded.
Yep.
And after your trip and after your butt massage. Want to talk about that again?
That was the last one. Yeah, my butt massage. No, I don't need. I don't need.
A couple
to
of
talk
things
about
have happened since.
that. No. I mean, well, you don't have your wedding ring on, so you haven't gotten married yet.
No, I do have my wedding ring, but I don't have it on. It's in the bathroom. Today was a day that we were supposed to go to Canopy Lake for their
For a wicked good time?
for their, is that what it? I thought it was. We're always just for fun or whatever the fuck it is.
I don't know what it is.
That's what it's blasted over the loudspeaker.
Newbury Comics is a wicked good time.
Yeah. Okay. So.
So you were supposed to be at Canopy. I'm sorry.
Yeah. I think they open at 1:00, and if folks are aware in this region, there's a nor'easter hitting us right now. Not one of the snow versions. This is just rain. But we didn't want to be We didn't want to pay $42 each.
Ugh.
To stand in the rain all day. So we decided instead to have some folks over. So Becky's having a little bit of, she's making some food, and, you feel free to have some before you go.
Did you... Okay, so you answered my question. You didn't buy the tickets in advance. You were going to buy them when you got there.
Yeah.
So you can just go to Canopy some other time.
Yeah, well, not this year.
Okay.
Because I believe this is the last weekend before they shut down for the
You're
season.
going to miss Little Kiss.
It's not mini Kiss. It's just regular, plain old Kiss.
Oh.
But one of the things we planned for this afternoon is to play some sort of YouTube video of mini Kiss from like 2012. Hopefully, we will be in the audience, because somebody else must have taken the video. I saw it. I was like searching for it earlier this week, and I saw that someone took a video. And so hopefully we'll figure out which day we were there, and hopefully we were at this particular performance screaming, "She's Beth!"
Who's Beth?
A friend of ours.
Oh, your friend.
A
She's
friend
Beth.
of ours is Beth, and they were
got
singing the song Beth, and
My dad has
and
some-
they had a little rose, and we were screaming and pointing at Beth, saying, "She's Beth. Give her the rose. She's Beth."
My dad, I feel like, has some story about Beth, about that song. I don't know what it is, but I feel like
I'm sure there's overt racism in it.
Probably. We were talking about the questions on the ballot coming up, and
Is he voting no on all of them?
yes.
Of course.
Yeah.
Why the fuck would he vote yes on any
Yeah,
of it?
no, well, he has this whole thing about not wanting his granddaughters to be assaulted in the bathroom by weirdos. But
You know what? That fucking question does not affect that at all, because a weirdo could go into a ladies' room. It's not fucking locked. and go in at any point in time. That doesn't prevent some fucking weirdo.
Sorry, we've been away for a month and a half. I needed at least one Steve rant.
I mean, when we first started talking about this, like when this first came up, the bathroom bill or whatever, like I of course made that joke, but it was in fact a joke because fucking like sexual predators aren't going to be like, oh, I'm going to go through the trouble of dressing up as a woman so I can assault people. You know what they're going to do? Is just go into a fucking bathroom and assault somebody.
No, what they're going to do is they're going to
run for president, get elected, and be nominated for the Supreme Court. Yeah.
Sorry.
Allegedly.
Was that too easy a joke?
But yeah, we were talking, and this is fucking. We're not talking about any of the fucking wedding stuff.
I had a way to get us back.
Okay, cool. Well, okay. Question one is basically, we're getting political here, but it's fine. I'm voting yes because, I mean, from all of the talk on the internet, like it seems that hospital administrators and hospitals are the ones pushing the legislation to be no, and nurses and the Massachusetts nurses union is pushing for yes.
Okay.
So I'm gonna go with the workers most of the time. So I'm voting yes, and then of course I don't want Citizens United to exist anymore. It's a nothing question because I don't think anything's gonna come of it.
Right.
But I'm gladly going to vote yes, just in case there's a snowball's chance in hell that something becomes something of that.
Right. It's good to hear about question one because I've seen no signs on people's lawns. It was only, I thought I'd seen a bunch of yes signs, and it was when I was driving here I saw more yes signs than I do in Chelmsford. And I've been very confused about that one because it reminds me of, I was supposed to find a way to get us off of this. But anyway, it reminds me of when the adjunct union at our, at a university that I'm familiar with, decided that they were going to put a limit on the number of courses any particular adjunct could teach. The idea being that if the college wanted an adjunct to teach more classes than that, they would hire the adjunct.
Right.
And that was a stupid thing to write into the rules because what it resulted in is adjuncts losing money and them hiring more different adjuncts to teach those courses because an administration is not going to take any option that costs them more money.
Right.
And so the thing I worry about with
unless they're forced to. So like they should have wrote it as if you're going to have, I don't know, like they would have had to sit down for more than the amount of time we're going to spend on this conversation to figure out exactly what the wording is to make fucking the university or whatever,
or the hospital in this case. That the thing I worry about is that the organization, because I obviously would not obviously, but I would vote yes, like without thinking about it. Then I thought about it and I was like, okay, is it just going to mean that instead of hiring more nurses, they're just going to let the lines pile up and the lines pile up, and then politically they're going to blame it on fucking Obama or something? And
I mean, like it's apparently something that already exists in California. Okay. And people that are nurses that are conservative are for this kind of thing. Oh, okay. Because like I would rather, if I'm being cared for in a hospital setting, have like a nurse care for me that isn't overtired and overworked.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely.
I mean, you could say like, oh, you can't get into the fucking hospital because apparently there's lines out the door for hospitals now. Yeah. And fucking like, how about administration like make less money and put more money into the teacher? Or sorry. That's another fucking story. Put more money into the nurses, who I think out of the payroll of a hospital is probably about maybe 6 to 8%.
Right.
Currently, like in almost all hospitals. So for-profit hospitals, you maybe bump that up to 10. That shouldn't be something that should be passed on to the consumer. So go fuck yourselves. We blah, 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 blah.
So here's the way I was going to get us back.
Okay, here, let's do it.
All right.
Ham-handed.
Ham-handed. No, it's not exactly ham-handed. It requires bringing up the Justice Brett Kavanaugh for 1 second.
Oh God!
And this is just to show you that I did not want to make your after party of your wedding political, so I didn't do this. But one thing I thought about doing. See, I'm trying to back us back to the after party, and then that gets us to the wedding. And
okay, I don't remember the after party so much.
Okay, so
but I do remember you singing a song.
Yes, at the after party, to amuse my pal Steve here, I decided I was going to sing "Don't Stand So Close to Me" by The Police.
Which is a running gag on this particular show, if you are familiar. I mean, we haven't recorded in so long, you probably forgot we existed.
Yeah, well, you've forgotten all our gags.
But whenever Chris starts talking about his students, I will invariably start singing that song.
Right. And so I did the song, and I had in my head, there's a particular part where Mr. Sting, I think that's what we call him, Mr. Sting.
I think he's just Sting.
Mr. Gordon Sumner.
Yeah.
Gordon Sting Sumner. He...
At least it's not Gordon Shumway.
No, good, at least not.
Do you know who that is?
That's a Nintendo thing, right?
No, it's not.
Oh, wait. I did know who that was at one point. But
all right, so trivia for all you kids out there: Gordon Shumway is Alf's real name.
Okay, that I did remember that. Now that you said it.
Okay.
Okay. So there's a part where Sting, not Mr. Sting, not just Sting.
Just to get to the fucking point.
There's a part where Sting sings a line, just like that old man in that book by Nabokov.
Yes.
And I was going to sing just like that asshole, Justice Brett Kavanaugh.
Oh.
And I didn't, but it would have fit syllable for syllable, line right in.
I think you should have. Like, I don't think.
I mean,
a majority of the people that were at the after party would have probably agreed. There would have been some fucking MAGA chants afterwards, but I don't think it would have been like that bad.
Yeah, no, but
there might have been a fight, and who cares?
Yeah.
Like,
But
Becky's aunt slammed her head on the ground or something, like spinning around a pole. I missed that one.
Her aunt was spinning around a pole.
Well, she's like, she teaches figure skating.
Oh, okay.
So she is light on her feet usually, but she was intoxicated. But she wasn't hurt. She actually didn't hit her head, but it looked like she hit her head.
Very good. That's glad to. No other injuries.
As far as I know, no reported injuries.
No reported injuries. So nobody's gonna. I mean, there might be unreported injuries. We'd get in trouble with Coach Belichick or something. That was me trying to make a football joke. So no injuries. That's good. Did anybody the ground on the way to the
wedding?
To the wedding was a little uneven. So no.
Yeah, I mean, you guys, your job as my groomsman was to ush people.
Yes. It was nominally my job.
Yeah, so it was your responsibility to make sure people didn't go ass over tea kettle and fucking fall down the hill. And it seems that you guys were successful.
I sure did do that.
Did you do it? Or did you leave it to your brother and John and Leo and Mike?
So
I don't think Gina was doing it, but
no, I don't think Gina was doing it. But so I mean, they could certainly tell their side of the story, but it just so happened there towards the beginning that
at least now we're at the beginnings. Perfect. We were at the end. Now we're at the beginning.
It just so happened that at the beginning of and there's stuff before the wedding we could talk about, but
with the rehearsal dinner.
The rehearsal dinner.
That was a lot of fun, although it was fucking cold. Like, okay, let's rewind a little bit, and then we'll come back to you ushing,
to me
or you not ushing.
Yeah.
So the day of the rehearsal dinner, we got married on Columbus Day weekend.
Yes.
A couple of weeks ago, 3 weeks ago, actually, today.
Yeah.
And there was a little bit of traffic of people traveling north.
Just a wee bit.
A wee bit of traffic going north. I guess people were going up to Maine or
to
New Hampshire for
mountains.
One last weekend for the Indigenous Peoples Day or Columbus Day, whichever you would like to celebrate.
Yep, fall weekend.
Last gasp of reasonable weather weekend and doing stuff. So there
can't put that on a t-shirt.
Like on a normal day from here to the venue, it would take approximately 35 minutes.
Okay.
Without traffic.
Yeah.
It took me leaving reasonably early, mind
Right.
you, over 2 hours.
Oh my god. Oh my god.
And Leo left at approximately the same time.
Oh boy.
And so
he's coming from further south.
Yeah, so he did not make it in time for the actual rehearsal, so we got to stand in
Yeah.
in another Chris.
Yes, that's right. I remember that.
And then so everything went peachy keen for the rehearsal, but it was a little cold. It was a little chilly that evening.
Yes, yeah.
We were blessed with more reasonable weather for the wedding itself.
Right.
It might have been overcast for most of the day, but
overcast is good. I mean, I don't know if you guys have seen your photos yet, but overcast is usually good for photos.
yeah. Well, I know it's good for photographers because
Yeah.
they don't have to change the aperture on
Right.
their cameras as often. Because being a student of film,
Oh, of course you would know this. I forgot. I'm so sorry.
we loved shooting on overcast days because it was a lot
Yeah.
easier to take photo. Well, like moving pictures.
It's the talk. Did you take talkies?
No, it was not talkies. We were shooting on like 8mm film, like black and white, because we're like poor college kids.
Well, yeah. Do what you can.
Yeah, so I actually brought it up, and they were like, "Yes, this is so great."
Yeah. They seem to be having a good time.
Yeah, they were a lot of fun, and they were very Becky found them on like Instagram because like she really
Okay.
liked their
Yeah.
pictures, and like she wants some. We haven't gotten any yet, so
Okay.
she's itching for a couple of samples.
Yeah.
I think they did a bang up job, and well, I know from interacting with them they were pretty nice. But so day before,
Yeah.
we finally got to we all got to the venue. Leo arriving right as we were about to leave.
Right as we were about to leave. Yeah.
And we went into the to have some dinner, and we celebrated a certain groomsman's birthday.
Yeah. He was very happy about that. That
Good.
groomsman.
Did
That
you
was
have
very
you
nice.
enjoyed some dessert and some cake?
I did. Yes, that was the only thing about it was like the because we'd already was the first dessert cake as well. I can't remember.
I don't remember because I didn't have it.
Okay, so I'm pretty sure there was cake and then there was a birthday cake, and the only trouble with the birthday cake is I had a slice and then I offered it to everybody else, but everybody else
had already eaten dessert, so
cake.
they're like, "I don't want more fucking cake, asshole." So
Yeah.
you brought it to the kids, and I
brought
imagine
it
they
to the
had
kid.
some.
Yeah. We consumed that cake right up there. I can't.
Right
say
up
it.
there.
Right
up. Like you drank it like these kids today putting vodka in their buttholes.
These kids today, that's the best way to get it in there, though.
Yeah, I mean, you get instantly drunk, but it's dangerous because I think it's bypassing your liver, so it's going straight to your bloodstream.
Oh, that's the best way, though, eh?
What the fuck?
I don't know. Somewhere in there, the accent came out.
But there was a special thing, and I put this on Facebook. I don't think you were back on Facebook yet.
No, I was not.
But Dave was speaking about it at the rehearsal dinner. The picture that was above the ATM in the mobile right next to the place where we had the dinner.
Yes.
Which was all of the employees of that particular mobile in North Andover dressed up as Star Trek people. And it's like going where no convenience store has gone before. So, of course, I stopped there for a couple of seltzer waters for the ride home because I was really thirsty. I didn't have anything to drink at all during the
No.
dinner. And I didn't have any water or any beverages. So I was super thirsty. So I needed to buy something there. And of course, as I'm walking by this, I managed to snag a quick picture
Yeah.
and post it on the internet.
Just
And,
as you do. No, I saw that later when I did rejoin the Facebook. We'll save me rejoining Facebook for some other time.
yeah,
but,
maybe another day. I don't know if we're gonna get to that one. But yeah, so I posted that up there, and the guy in the bottom corner, the bottom right corner is my favorite. He looks like the guy that was in Road Trip. And
Patrick Swayze?
yes,
Oh, and that's Roadhouse.
yes, Roadhouse.
Roadhouse. Got it.
Yes, and
Um,
and he ripped out people's throats.
Oh, yeah. The funny thing about, not funny, but
Odd.
the odd
Queer.
The queer thing about that about that rehearsal dinner was and this continued a little bit into the wedding, was that the women who were there with in one case a wife, in one case a girlfriend with the other groomsmen. Excuse me. So Leo's girlfriend.
Yes.
Right? Okay. I thought they were married for like the entire weekend, and Stephanie corrected me. So Leo's girlfriend.
Did you ever like refer to her? Yeah.
Oh,
so,
no.
yeah.
Just in my brain, I yeah. And so Leo's girlfriend.
So at least you didn't like actively make her uncomfortable.
No, I hope not. And was it Mike's
wife?
I think it was Mike's wife.
Yes. Did you make her uncomfortable?
I don't know. I didn't. I didn't talk to either of them. I talked to Leo's girlfriend more. But both of them looked so familiar to me. It was very weird to me that I felt like I had met them somewhere.
You
before.
might have. Like, there's been interactions where we've all been together, but I don't know. I don't know.
Yeah, the one time I remember meeting Mike before, he was there solo.
Oh.
And I don't think I'd ever, and the one or two times I've met Leo before, he was anyway.
So fucking maybe not.
Maybe not, but their faces looked very familiar, and I was just like,
maybe you just seeing, I don't know, social media posts from Becky from in the past, and then seeing pictures of us all being together.
I don't know. They were nice people though.
Yeah, and you made them uncomfortable.
I'm sure I did.
You should feel shame for that.
I do. I feel shame for everything, including how uncomfortable I make people feel just by breathing anywhere near them. I did have a lot of anxiety that whole weekend. It was.
Oh, do you want? So we're getting back to ushing.
Yes. Well, no. We can. So like, what? Let's think about I don't know. Nothing else. It was a good dinner.
Well, the rehearsal, you mean?
Yeah,
it was a lot of fun.
Leo
brought up the wonderful question: what is the sexiest fruit?
That did persist for a while, right?
And I forget like what he was saying. I think he was saying something like
the avocado.
I think Becky mentioned that when she was like zipping over because she was being a good egg and sitting with the parents, and I was just I said fuck that, and I was sitting with you guys.
Well, that's it. It happens. You got one of the good things and bad things about, the wedding, you tend to stick together more, but I remember there's kind of a way that you can, at least at the rehearsal dinner, kind of divide and conquer, because there's two of you, and as long as one of you is paying attention to like individual groups, they all feel like, oh, well, we're special. The bride or the groom,
right?
Came up to us. Whereas at the wedding, it's maybe less divide and conquer because everyone wants to see the two of you together, and if you're not together, like, you're already fighting.
Yeah, no.
Like. Or they're
no, we were together for most of it, and like I remember, you guys ushed, you did, and the rest of them did. I don't know if this actually happened. I'm just making it up.
Yeah, I know I can. But go ahead, you finish.
But like, and then the ceremony was like,
Yeah, it was very quick.
Blink and you missed it.
Yeah.
Like, we were like talking to the guy when we first were, talking to the justice of the peace. We're basically, he gave us like a template of things to say, and we sat down with him. We're like, we don't need this and this. I mean, we just need the basic stuff, important things that you have to say,
right? Like
legally.
Yeah. Do you? Yeah. Do you? Yeah.
Kiss her. Married. I mean, like, that was basically, we were just trying to figure out because we wanted to get to the party, and like,
right.
That's the fun part. Like, I've been to so many weddings where there's been a Catholic mass right before, and it's just like, nobody wants that except for some grandmother, and like, you're ruining 100 or so people's day because one old lady and so that's basically like our government right now.
Who's the old
the
lady
one old lady that voted, and the fucking 100 or so fucking millennials that chose to fucking protest?
Oh my god. What was I gonna say? It looks like your window is pissing. It looks like somebody is pissing.
There's I think a fatty squirrel that's been eyeing our pumpkins. Are we okay?
Yeah, we're good. You were peeking a little bit, so I turned the input down just a touch.
Okay, so there's a fatty
Oh wait,
squirrel.
no, that's too far.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
I'm putting it back. I'll fix it in post.
There was a fatty squirrel eyeing our pumpkins before we left. He seems to have gone, but I imagine he's probably on the roof taking
pissing.
a really long. He's probably opening his mouth and drinking all the rainwater and simultaneously pissing it out
So
endlessly.
He's like,
It can't just be rainwater that's coming off the roof.
No, that looks like, I mean, and it looks like it's clear, so it's not like he's dehydrated.
Yeah. I mean, it's probably our gutters are a little mucked up, so we probably should get them clean.
I like the idea that it's a squirrel better.
Okay, sure. A squirrel endlessly pissing off of our roof. Is that the name of the fucking episode?
I haven't been writing them down, and the trouble is, like, I've got so much crap to do today. I'm gonna have to listen to it now because I gotta find a. Oh, it's kind of going. Anyway,
it's windy.
It's windy. There was something about the party. Yeah, one of the things that I thought was, as long as I'm allowed to compliment you and Becky on your wedding, am I allowed to do that? Or
yes,
am I gonna embarrass
you can do that.
Okay. One of the things that I liked was the fact that you got all, if not, or most, if not all, of the photos done before the ceremony.
Right. That was something that we had talked about with the person that we originally were going to have as our photographer. She said a lot of people are doing this these days. The first look.
Yeah.
So basically, doing that before you get married, and then because it's the same day. Jesus Christ,
right.
Like our marriage is going pretty well so far. The first 3 weeks. So I think we're okay. As far as stupid superstitions.
But it goes along with the point that you were just making, which is that you are there to celebrate you guys getting married and your love and all of that schmaltzy stuff, right? But you're also inviting 100 people
and you don't want to have them sitting there waiting for you to arrive,
right? Which is, so people in the years after Stephanie and I got married, especially our closer friends, like constantly complimented us on how much fun they had at the wedding and da-da-da-da-da. But what I remember, and this is probably just because what I remember is like posing for pictures for like an hour plus after the wedding.
Yeah.
And I don't know what everyone did while we were doing that, but
I was taking video of my balls. So I imagine you fast forward through that part when you watch the wedding video.
We did. When we have the kids around, we fast forward, but it's a nice beat of comedic relief.
Yeah, it's like 45 minutes of Steve's balls. That's the title.
There we go. All right, now I 45 minutes of Steve's balls. That's so. But and it didn't seem. I've been to other ones. I haven't been in too many other ones, been part of the wedding party. But the photographers seemed very on top of things. I don't know if they had a checklist. I imagine they did.
I think they did. I mean, I imagine, this was, one of the things that was out of my hands as far as the conversation goes. Becky was on top of it and on the ball, and I imagine she was just like, these are the kind of things that we kind of want.
Yeah, she was not on Steve's balls, not yet.
No. I mean, we would never have premarital sex, Chris.
Oh, that's right. I'm sorry. So something about so I paid you the compliment on the photos. I thought that was
thank you. Yeah, it was a good idea, and I think it was definitely worth it. For the rest of the day, because there was a couple of, we did do some photos, the two of us, after the actual wedding. But that didn't take an additional hour, so I think it was only maybe 20 minutes to a half an hour or more. And so then we came in, we did our thing, and it was a lot of fun. Yeah. And then we did it. The caterer was like, "Eat some fucking food."
Well, that's good because we did not get a lot of food. The two of us, Stephanie and I, when we got married, there were theoretically some hors d'oeuvres in the room where, the bridal suite prep room or whatever. But I think they were all basically gone or eaten by the bridesmaids before we ever got there. So it's good that the caterer took the grilled cheese and tomato soup hors d'oeuvre was amazing. That was
that was one of the few times we broke keto prior to the wedding, was for the tasting.
For the tasting of that. That was, I I like tomato soup, but I don't love tomato soup. That was like the perfect amount of like, oh, just
I forget who it was. I think it might have been Jamie. She was like, oh, she thought it was like some sort of spicy thing, so she didn't eat it. And I'm like, no, it's just tomato soup.
Oh, no, that's bad. And it was like a little bit thicker tomato soup, right?
Yeah.
So it was more like a dipping sort of thing.
Yeah, I mean, people, that's one of those rainy days in the fall. Get a grilled cheese in a bowl of tomato soup. It's a comfort food kind of thing.
Get a grilled cheese in you, man.
Yeah. And it was one of the first times in a long time I had some bread.
Yeah. How did that? So I don't want to get too far ahead. Are you still ketoing now?
We're back. We had beers, we had bread, we had scones, we had a whole bunch of tasty bready things
when you were in Ireland,
and toast and whatever else when we're on our honeymoon.
Yeah.
But now that we're back on.
Okay. Sounds good. See, I don't know if I'd have that willpower. I think I would reach the finish line and then be like, all right.
No, I'd rather, get back to, my fighting weight than not.
Right. Yeah.
Because if we had started it a little bit earlier, it probably would have been better. Because I probably would have, lost more weight prior to the wedding.
Right, yeah.
But now that we're back, it's good that, we're back on it because and then once we get to where we want to be,
then I
can, carb up a little bit. Like
right.
I can have up to like maybe 50 as opposed, so I can have some fruit. I can have some fucking, and the goal won't be to lose weight. It'll just be to maintain my weight.
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
And so I can have like some fucking cereal if I want, not like fucking Cocoa Puffs or Lucky Charms, but I can have like a Cheerios or like a Special K or something like that.
Yeah.
Maybe with some yogurt. I can have yogurt again because,
right.
But plain yogurt with the cereal or something like that. Yeah.
Yeah. What was I going to say? So should I talk about the ushing? Have we got
yes, we can finally talk about the ushing.
So, because I mean, I don't think there was any, at least for me, there wasn't anything that eventful about getting to the.
For me,
I got dressed. I needed some help from my wife and my mom with the cufflinks, which I think I might have eventually just not worn.
I think when we were talking to the people at the rental place, we were like, we don't need them to have cufflinks, but they gave them to you anyways.
I think they just put them in anyway. They put the cufflinks and like the little button replacements. I think that's just in a plastic bag with whatever.
Like, because like the button replacements are worthless because you're wearing a tie and a vest. There's no way people are going to see the fucking buttons.
Well, my brother managed to do it. Like which made me feel inadequate. I was like, all right, so he knows how to do this, and I'm sitting here
and I can
barely get myself dressed.
The three of us, John, Leo, and I, we're spending an inordinate amount of time trying to tie full Windsor knots. We had this French guy, I forget what his name was. Leo, you can send an email and remind us. The French guy that we watched the video probably at least 10 to 15 times. I got mine. My like back end of the tie was a little bit short, but that didn't matter because like I said, I was wearing a fucking vest. Right. So,
my brother tied, I was driving, my brother and me, and
my brother and me.
Is that any good? Have you listened to that?
No, but I've heard good things.
Okay. Yeah, I have heard good things too. But it's one of those... Anyway, tangent. There is a podcast that I listen to that's making me question everything, including what other podcasts I should be listening to. And that's one of the ones they constantly suggest. At any rate, so I was driving my brother and me to the hotel to meet up with you guys. And I think he was watching a YouTube video... tying his own tie, and then
in the car,
and then he tied my tie
in the car,
yeah. And I think so. We ended up doing all right, except for the pocket squares, which
John's took care of. He was the pocket square king.
He was the king of the.
Although mine, I wish like I had had it starched or something like that because it was a little bit too flimsy and it was like it was hard to keep its shape, so I had to constantly be like pulling on it, or somebody that was my keeper or whatever was constantly fixing it for me.
Okay, so then what? So we did the pictures, which we've kind of talked about. Those went well.
We did the ceremony, which went by in a flash.
But the ushing is before the
Oh
ceremony.
yeah, the ushing. Sorry, let's get back to the ushing.
So
we're not even going to get to the honeymoon this week.
No. we gotta give the honeymoon its whole own episode.
Okay, that's fine.
I
was hoping like that.
Way it's like 2 weeks in a row where I don't have to say anything.
We got up late today, and you know, we were, and I forgot to text you when I got up, and it was just a whole thing, and I was just like, crap. So, you know, I was hoping we could record a little bit longer than normal, but that's out the fucking window. Yeah. We'll have to get back to the honeymoon next time.
Yeah, we're back to your honeymoon, not to our honeymoon.
Yes, well, the honeymoon of the show and the honeymoon of Becky and I,
right?
Or Becky and me, whatever. I don't care. Grammar.
Yeah, I know. You know what it is? It's we all got taught that at times we were using me when we should have been using I, and now we want to use I for everything because we got scolded so damn much.
Yeah,
and it's like now we're getting.
Now when I hear somebody say it, I want to correct them, but I'm like, wait, they're probably right, so I don't want to fucking say anything because I'll seem like an idiot.
Yeah. It's all about imagining and it's our fucking language is the problem, right? Because we're polite and we put the I or the me after whoever the other person in to
give them a little bit more boost as far as the subject of the sentence.
So part of what happens is cognitively what we're supposed to do is imagine that person wasn't there when deciding to use I or me. So I was driving me or driving myself. I was driving me to the you wouldn't say I was driving I to the hotel.
Okay.
Right?
I mean that makes sense, but we don't need to fucking
but those fucking people who invented English, those fucking bastards, it made us too goddamn polite, and that's why we all messed that shit up. Don't email me. No, I mean do email me. We like email.
Oh yeah, it's hot@clarkwoods.com.
It is.
Put it in there in the middle, so maybe you know so someone can jot it down or write up their email as they're listening to the rest of it.
Pause it and then start tapping away on their.
Or maybe they're good at multitasking and can do both.
Maybe, unlike you and me, unlike you and I.
Wait, no.
All right. So when it came to ushing, like this was the part that I was the most nervous about. Because as I said,
I mean, this wasn't something that was super formal, you know,
no, but it's
not like we were at a fucking church or anything,
But it's a job, right? And it's the weekend, and I've had one thing to drink, and I'm starting to get a.
You already had? Oh yeah, you had a whiskey.
I had a whiskey.
I had a big whiskey.
I had a whiskey, or maybe I had two things. I think I might have had a shot. Did we all have a shot? I don't know. And then I had.
Remember that it was a blur for me.
I think I had a shot, and then I had an actual mixed drink, which I think was a whiskey sour. So I had a lot of whiskey. But at any rate,
why are you making the whiskey taste shitty by putting sour mix in it? Sorry.
Because I wanted a mixed drink, and
why didn't you just have a Midori sour?
I don't know.
Your drink of choice.
I didn't see any Midori.
Everybody will be. I think we got Midori. I think we got a bottle of Midori because you were going to be at the fucking wedding. Because we figured no one else would fucking touch it, but it would be there for you.
So anyway, I as I said, I was having a bit of an anxious weekend, and it got to be the time for the ushing, and I was just super nervous that I was going to do it wrong. I was going to embarrass myself. I was going to make someone uncomfortable.
Yep.
Like all of
you did all of the above.
Thank you for confirming my fears. And so
just so you know, Chris, no one said that to me. I'm just fucking with you.
I get it. No, so so what ended up happening, especially towards the beginning part of the ushing, is there were people coming in fits and spurts, and so
fits and spits.
Somebody would come down the pathway, and Mike would take them, right? And then I'd be sitting there jawing with maybe Leo or whoever, and then Mike would come back, and then
Mike would take them.
I would step over to the left, and Mike would take them again. And then then sometimes maybe there were two people to ush, and so Mike and Leo would come, but then maybe Johns would come back up there, and I'd talk to Johns, and I'd say, hey, you want to take this one? And so he would take that.
You were delegating.
I was delegating.
That's fine.
And when it finally came to somebody that I knew, and I was like, all right, I'll take this one.
Then your brother did.
It was because it was Rob and Bethany, and they said, oh, you can take it. Well, I said, oh, do you want to wait for John? I was ready to take them, but John appeared, my brother, at that point, and he took them. So it wasn't really until the busload of people arrived, because there was a bus that brought people from the hotel, right?
Yeah. Remember, you're not supposed to ask which side. You're still supposed to just fucking.
You're just supposed to know.
You take their arm. And this is what I was told when I was a groomsman at Yucko's wedding.
Okay.
You just take their arm and you start making conversation.
Ah, okay.
And so basically, what I would do was just ask them where they were coming from. If they were like, I'm a Jew from New England, and I'm like, you're on the groom side. If they were like, if they had a southern drawl, I'm like, you're on the bride's side.
There you go. That's a good way to do it. So I think I finally did ush a couple of people, but I was so terrified of doing the wrong thing that I don't think I ever offered my arm to any of them. I knew there was one woman there by herself, and I just sort of walked alongside her and tried to make conversation and did it very awkwardly.
Cool.
And then I was like, wow, I'm fucking things up. And
you didn't fuck anything up. Everybody ended up with a seat.
Yes, everyone did end up with a seat, and it looked like everyone had a good time.
Yes.
So I was just in my own head. Then there was a wedding.
Then we did the wedding.
And it was
in an instant.
Yeah.
It was like Carnation Instant Breakfast.
Oh, it's got all the good stuff.
Yeah, we just poured a little bit of Steve and a little bit of Becky in a glass, stirred it up, and then we were married.
You were married. I like that image.
Yeah, maybe we should have done that for our vows. Enjoyed some delicious breakfast treat.
Who would bring the milk and who would bring the breakfast packet?
I mean, I think that's the groomsman.
Okay.
Or the best man. I think Leo, that would have been his responsibility.
Well, but one of you would have to be represented by the milk, and one of you, obviously the bride is represented by the milk because it's white and pure and whatever.
And it comes from a lady.
And you're represented by the pouch of chocolate powder
because I'm dry.
Yes. And so yeah, Leo would take the pouch of chocolate powder out of the inside pocket.
Yes.
And what was the maid of honor's name?
Hannah.
Hannah. So Hannah would then have the glass of milk that just came out of nowhere.
This is like anybody that's listening that hasn't gotten married. We just gave you the best idea ever.
And we expect that if you don't,
better be invited to the fucking wedding.
The next wedding that one of us goes to better have this as the. I mean, maybe not the next.
It'll
one.
be a Catholic mass too. And God said, "Let ye have chocolate drink for breakfast."
Which part of Jesus?
Oh wait, that was like Bill Cosby a little bit. Oh boy.
Which part of Jesus is the chocolate milk? I mean, Jesus, his
Please drink of this chocolate milk. It is my blood. Oh, God. Everybody's getting communion with chocolate
milk. They're coming out with like a chocolate milk mustache.
What would be the fun other treat? Like a scone? Or not a scone. What is the little
a donut?
No, not a donut. The little what the fuck?
I don't know.
Zumbo makes them.
Zumbo. All right, hold on. Zumbo makes what? They make treats.
He's a baker.
Zumbo.
Why can't I think of the fucking?
Zumbo's just desserts. Patisserie.
He's a patissier.
Patissier. Oh, I'm sorry. Patissier. Zumbo is the westernmost town in Mozambique on the Zambezi River.
No, not that Zumbo.
Zumbo. Find the nearest pop-up. He makes decorated fondant cake.
And
lemon meringue tart, croquembouche. He makes Marky Time, Zumbarone packs, double chocolate Lamington.
No.
V8 vanilla.
These things. What are these things? What the?
don't know.
Macarons. There we go.
Oh, macaron. That's like a lady in Germany, right? Isn't there no? Is there
Shuckaron, shucka rickety roan. We don't need to talk about macarons or this anymore.
No,
but yeah, the ceremony was a lot of. I remember Gina yelling at me for the look that I had on my face when Becky came around the corner because she was like, "Don't you fucking make me cry!"
Oh, what look did you have on your face?
I apparently was very happy.
Very happy. You did look very happy. I was like, that's what I remember is just a general feeling of happiness. So I don't remember her yelling, "Don't you make."
No, she didn't say that during the fucking wedding.
Oh,
she told me afterwards. Because she was upset that she made her have feelings. She was upset I made her have feelings.
Oh, is she not in touch with her feelings?
No, she is, but you kind of like when you're around other people. Some people are a little bit. I don't want.
Okay, got it. I got it. Yeah,
especially around strangers.
Yeah. No, you guys looked very happy. That was and I think that was part of what made the quickness of the ceremony so distinct. Was because I think we all had enough, those of us who weren't getting married, had enough time to just look at the two of you being very happy, and then it was over. I'm like, wait.
Oh, they're happy, and now they're married.
Like we're still just getting...
Now they're miserable.
Oh.
Just kidding.
That should be part of the marriage service, right? I now pronounce you miserable.
Aww. But then we I think the groomsmen were standing around for there was a One Piece song. It was Bink Sake, which was and then Becky came out to a song from The Legend of Zelda, which I think was the Zelda's Lullaby. I'm not sure because it was really fast and it was a blur. And then we walked out to the theme from Jurassic Park.
I don't know if I remembered that. I don't know. It was nice.
It was really fast. But the amount of time that it took to us to walk into the orchard, which was where our exit was, it got to the part where you were like, oh, this is the theme from Jurassic Park.
Yeah.
But it didn't play for that much longer after that.
Right. Yeah, no, and that was nice. And you guys went off and did your pictures, and we went off and
ate some treats.
I was like, oh my God, I'm done. I don't have to do it.
And then I got to go over there, and they only had beer and wine over there. I'm like, fuck. But, I didn't have any beer until I got to Ireland. Oh, but really? That's for another time.
Yeah. No, the one of the things about where the hors d'oeuvres and the sort of cocktail hour was there were multiple people at I don't know if it was my dad or my mom, that were unsure whether they were supposed to. I think it was my dad. It must have just been us. My dad had gone over there. He'd seen some sign, or he swore he saw some sign about a birthday party, and so none of us went inside the barn for a while.
So you didn't get your little keys, your little favors?
We did eventually, yeah. Okay. And I've got my key. I don't know if I hung it up.
Did you see somebody you knew going in? You're like, oh, they must not be part of the birthday party.
I just realized that my dad probably didn't see what he thought he saw. And I was like, why are we all trusting that...
I mean, he's voting no on all three of the fucking ballot questions. How the fuck are we taking his word for it?
Well, I didn't know at that point that he was voting.
I know, but you could have ascertained.
Yeah. So eventually we went inside, and that's where I got my grilled cheese, and that's where I got a couple of the other hors d'oeuvres that I had, and saw the big map, which I thought was awesome.
Yeah, that was more One Piece stuff that we injected into the fucking into the wedding, which was not hit yourself over the head with it.
No.
But it was something that I'm like, and this is just something I suggested, I think when we were first talking about it, and Becky took the ball and ran with it, and I was like, this is fucking awesome.
Yeah. No, it worked out really well because it it gave you a light theme. So the tables each had it was the name of one of the crews.
Yeah. You guys were the Whitebeard Pirates, I believe.
Yeah, I think that's right. And so we were actually, one of the fun things during the
Becky and I were the Straw Hats, if anybody's wondering.
Oh, okay. The one of the things during the cocktail hour was we were trying amongst ourselves to figure out who the last 2 or possibly 3 people were going to be at at the table with us, which you had probably told me. But so I knew it was Stephanie and me, and I knew it was my mom and dad, and I knew it was your dad and Michelle. I knew it was my brother. I think was it just Rob and Bethany beyond that?
I think so.
Okay, so it was. I think what it turned out to be is like we were trying to figure out who are the other people, and then eventually we saw that Rob and Bethany were with us, and that was.
Yeah, I think we did a decent job of like putting you guys at the right
Our
tables.
table was great. Yeah, I don't know how everyone else felt. I can't speak for everyone else.
I think everybody like belonged at the table that they belonged.
Yeah, no, it was, and here's a. Oh, I shouldn't spring this on you now because you're gonna be too excited.
Ooh,
no, I don't. After having sat at the table with your dad, like within the last 2 weeks, my dad brought up the idea of the Dadcast.
What?
I knew you. He said, "So I guess if sometime you want to have me and
Scott
Steve,
and I get together."
It's like, okay.
All right. I mean, I floated it out there years ago when we first started this show, but getting them together, I think, was just important.
I didn't expect it. It was not. It just came up of his own volition.
Wow.
He was, yeah.
All right. I mean, we're gonna have to edit the shit out of it, or well, you're going to have to edit the shit out of it.
Yes.
But hey, if it happens, it happens.
Yeah. So it's now out there as.
It'll be like the MAGA version of our show.
It will be. But still, it was fun to. I think the other thing, my dad had more fun. I don't know what he expected going in, but I think he had more fun than he expected talking. And I don't know if your friends felt the same way about seeing my dad, but him seeing Yucko and seeing Will, and like these people who used to hang out at our house all the time.
Yeah,
I think it made him feel.
Young
good
again
and young.
Yeah.
No, it was good. He's
even though like all of us are around 40.
Yeah, no, but it just reminded him of younger days, and he's had some
stuff going on,
health stuff, and he's had some depression and anxiety stuff, and
so I'm glad it made his day.
Yeah, no, he seemed to have a good time.
So yeah, like after we ate, we just started the I think clockwise or counterclockwise room zip around the room, and then
it was
then I was just drinking a whole bunch, and now then I didn't remember.
Yeah, no, and
I remember little slices of things here and there, but it was just.
And dinner was tacos, which was awesome.
Yeah, I do remember eating.
Yeah, which is good.
I do remember glimpses of conversations with people, which was nice. I can't wait to hang out with people like I mean, this is
one of the first, and then you'll hang out with people a little bit.
Yeah,
right
I mean, like
this.
Yeah, well, when
did you guys get back?
We got back last Thursday night, late.
Yeah,
it was almost time. Like we were trying to just stay up a little bit later, so we didn't like immediately just crash. And then I was, of course, up at 5 a.m. like I normally am, but that's fine.
Right.
Like getting up at my normal time is good. That means like we're not gonna probably have like I didn't really have jet lag. Becky fell victim to it a little bit more than I did.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, it was we're still kind of going to bed a little bit too early.
Right.
But like last night we were up till I fell asleep on the ride home because we were hanging out with a couple of our friends.
Yeah.
But yeah, so yeah, I'm still.
Now you're an old married couple.
I mean, we were before. We were like, it was like if we didn't have anything going on, like when we have D&D, I'm usually starting to get grumpy at around 9:30.
Yeah, I don't know.
I just have to this is gonna air on the day. It
airs on
Monday, right?
Yeah, Monday.
You'll put this out on Monday. So on Monday, if you listen to this first thing. Mm-hmm. Like our plan is to get tickets to the I think it's the Pepperell Regional Theater, up there in Pepperell, Massachusetts, because they're putting on a production of Shrek.
Nice. All right.
So the plan is to get a couple of tickets and go to that on Monday evening.
All right,
7 o'clock. So if you'd like to meet at least one of the people from Horribly Off Topic, go to the Pepperell fucking theater.
The Pepperell Theater for Shrek.
For their I think it might be the last showing of Shrek.
Oh, there was something going on this weekend or the last.
I'll show you a picture. Maybe you can put it as the thing
out there. Yeah, well, especially if it has anything to do with Steve's balls.
It doesn't, but
No, there have been some things out in oh, look at that. Yeah, you send me that. That'd be great.
Send you the picture?
Yeah,
Okay.
I'll put it in there. I'll find a way to get that in there as the art.
All right.
Yeah. So yes, I just want to also compliment you on the donuts. There were donuts.
Oh yeah, there was so much dessert at the fucking wedding.
Yes,
there was like both of our wedding cakes.
Yes.
And we didn't get each other too messy. It wasn't on our
Right.
clothes or anything.
Yeah.
I was just gonna boop her nose, but then
Yeah.
she was like, "What? You're gonna smash into my face?" And so she was just like, "Blah." But luckily we didn't get too messy.
Yeah. That was there was a lot to choose from for dessert. When Stephanie and I did that, we didn't get each other messy at all, and my brother was mad. So my brother, I don't know if he chased us out or we all ran outside, and then to sate my brother, we allowed like one boop on Stephanie's nose for the.
I really liked my cake a lot. It was really cool. It was really tasty too, and I wish I'd eaten more of it, but
Yeah.
it was just
Was it keto or was it
no.
Okay,
It
all
was
right.
a real cake.
Okay, because I mean
It's frozen at Becky's parents' house now, along with the I forget which layer. It might have been more than one. It might have been all three layers of the regular cake,
right.
which were three different things. I forget which layer. I forget the flavor of the layer we had.
Right. Yeah.
But mine was chocolate and peanut butter.
Yeah. Well,
But you guys had the donuts.
I
and
had
then
the
you
donuts.
had like apple
and
dippies.
I don't know if you saw it. I'm going to see if I can find this picture. I think I posted this on Facebook or the Instagram because you had once told the story of a donut heist.
Oh yeah.
You had once told the story of a donut heist.
I was yelling at Will. I think I was yelling at Will either at the bachelor party or at the wedding that we
Yeah.
need those fucking pictures.
And so I took this picture of Rob with a donut.
Like-
So Bethany is pointing at the donut. Rob is holding the donut as if he's about to steal the donut. And I just love that there were donuts there to
not steal.
not. Yeah, well, yeah. I mean, we could return them if you'd like.
Oh yeah, we did that. Felony crimes.
The yeah, no. So it was good, and then there was an after party. And the after party was
I think Hannah's husband got everybody Popeyes.
yes, there was Popeyes there, and we ended up with a box of Popeyes going home with it and that was what we had for lunch the next day.
Oh, that's cool.
It's like a whole box of Popeyes. I mean, I think most of it was gone, but they were like, somebody take all this food. And
Yeah.
so we did. Yeah, no, that was good. It actually was neat because I would never. The last time I had Popeyes, I did not love it, and so I was like, I'm never having Popeyes.
And now
again.
you're singing their tune, their jingle.
I liked the Popeyes that was there for free.
Okay.
You know?
Well, maybe you can go to Drum Hill and get
Yeah.
some more. Is it still there?
It is still there.
Okay.
Yep. And so and we already talked about there was karaoke. which
Yeah,
was-
I sang my normal karaoke songs. I wanted to sing other karaoke songs, but everyone that I was like, "Do you have this?" and he's like, "Nope," and I'm like, "God damn it!" I wanted to sing other songs, like not stereotypical Steve
Yeah.
songs.
You know, if you're ever in Portland,
Maine?
Oregon.
No.
The one that was the karaoke DJ that the XOXO festival had. He's apparently been written up in the paper because one of the things he does in his spare time is creates his own karaoke tracks to things that you wouldn't necessarily even.
I mean, I was hoping that Dan would have brought like a flash drive with Diary of a Hobo on it. I don't know if that's something that crossed his mind.
Yeah.
But unfortunately not. But that would have been something else.
That would have been something else. Yeah.
Singing a song about a guy playing with his balls at my wedding after party. So maybe it was for the best that he didn't bring it.
There was, so like we were mostly tucked into one corner of the bar, but I did notice there were other parties around the bar, and then
I think there was another wedding there.
and there was another, at least part of that wedding. There were some children like way over in the corner. So
And I think Dave and Bill doing friggin' Bring the Noise. That was pretty fucking good. I remember that.
was pretty good. Yeah.
You know, we were talking about it before the Mega Maze last weekend, and he was like, it's exhausting though.
I can.
He's
only
like,
imagine.
he's like, I got to get Bill like up to speed so he can take a little bit more of it from me.
Yeah. That was watching it was exhausting. I was like, how the fuck do you remember all that?
I mean, the fucking words are on the screen, but you have to like. That's the thing about karaoke. You need to know the song before you fucking try to sing it.
The words being on the screen is one thing, but if you don't know the rhythm or the
rhyme.
You can find the show notes for this episode at clarkwoods.com/hot.
Oh, you're going to put show notes?
Well, you know, this is a better ending than me trying to do any other way. So
okay, cool.
I don't know. Is there anything to link?
I don't think so.
I don't know. I just think it's a better ending.
All right, fine.
So you can find the show notes for this episode at
clarkwoods.com/hot/211. Yes. And you can email us. I mentioned it earlier, but I'll mention it again. hot@clarkwoods.com. Send us an email. Tell us, like, if you went to the wedding.
Yeah.
Like, tell us, you know, about your fun experiences.
What's your favorite wedding story?
Or if you've gone to a wedding and it was fucking crazy and it was shitty, like, tell us your craziest wedding story, whether it be from either of ours or your own or a friend of yours, or just some stranger you went to a wedding and crashed.
I like this. Let's have a whole wrap up of crazy weddings.
Yes.
And
so we can postpone our conversation about the honeymoon another week.
No, we'll say maybe we'll give everyone a couple weeks to get their crazy wedding stories in, and then after we've talked about the honeymoon,
you can tell us your crazy honeymoon stories.
Oh, yeah. All right. Twitter. Are you?
No, fuck that.
No, okay. Just email us.
Yeah, I don't tweet anything, so it's not worth anything.
Or you can find us on Facebook.
Yes, we're both on Facebook. I don't know how public I am, but you know.
Yeah. Anyway, email us, and then we'll talk about the honeymoon next time.
Next time
on Horribly Off.
What? No, horribly off topic.